Hey guys, here's a video of the nose strut modification that I did. I probably should have made this a few months ago when all you guys were asking, but I've been super busy finishing up grad school. So here it is. This is the nose strut that I use. This is from the, geez, I don't even remember. I think it's the F-16. Yeah, well anyways, it's the one that comes with a light. And originally, this was the retract that I use right here. This is the one that came in the plane. And because of the distance between the shaft right there and this, between where the strut comes out and right here, it's not very big. So this big, fat, thick strut was actually making contact with the back of the retract right here. So I did hold this to a belt sander and shave that down. So that solved the problem then. Had to shave down the little grub screw in there as well. And then also to get it away from contacting this, since it is longer and this part's very thick, I put little spacers like that right there underneath where the retract plate sits against the mount. So if you looked, you could see it right in between there. They're not there anymore. And that is because I got a different retract for it. The one I had after all those abusive landings was getting kind of sloppy and wobbly. So I ended up purchasing the retract. This is the nose retract for the FMS Trojan, the 55-inch one, version 4. And I suspected that it was the same exact retract because it looked the same in photos. And I messaged some guys in our ski groups who had the plane. They gave me the measurements and it was a direct fit. So after I put that in, well, first I had to drill out the trunnion, of course, and that's easy. You guys can do that. Drill out the trunnion. You might have to notch a little bit off parts of it to fit the little C-clamp down in there. I'll get to these in a minute. And then, so I got this retract, I put it in, and I realized it's an 84-degree retract. It's not in 90-degree retract. So that means that this doesn't actually come all the way down to here. It stopped 6 degrees short. And then I realized in this application, it's actually the best thing you could have. So now I don't have any more of those spacers in between there. This is sitting flush on the mounts. And then this actually stays a little bit away when it's retracted, which I'll show you. There really isn't any difference you can see. I mean, it still sticks out a little bit. So you can see when it's retracted. I mean, the light sticks out, but we still have adequate clearance in here. It's still loose. It's not hitting anything. As far as the lights, the reason why I picked this nose strut is because it had a light on it, and I really wanted lights. What am I doing? So the lights were normally pointing behind here, coming off with the light behind here. Obviously there's no room. So I switched this little thing around and I put a nylon spacer in here to bring it out and put a longer screw in, just drilled it out a little bit, so now the lights point off the front. If you guys are wondering about the other lights, I used a little drill, drilled a hole through that plastic part, and that's how I got those mounted on there. Just ran the wires through. I did use a different, or actual clevis on here to get rid of some of the slop, because you guys know that thing turns a little bit. And this is actually one of the Freewing steering arms. I don't even know what these are called. This is from the Freewing planes. Fits on fine. It's a little bit longer in here. Takes up some of the space. So as far as the pins, I know a lot of you guys were using the pins, these ones here. I dropped it. Hang on a sec. I'm way too tired to be doing this. So here is the 2 pins. The one on the left is a Super Scorpion pin. You can see it's about 4 or 5 millimeters longer. It's just easier to make it longer, have more to work with. And you can cut it shorter if you want to, but I like having the longer ones. Since this strut is the shortest one that I could find, I didn't even have to trim anything. And you guys will see when it retracts that it's not hitting anything. So we still do have a little bit of clearance in there. It's close, but it works. We have clearance everywhere else in here. I think that's all I can think of. My plane's a little beat up. I've actually repainted the whole bottom of it, all the white, because it was through a horrible crash where the wings broke off the plane and got smashed, and I crashed into a tree again the other day. I'll flip it over to show you guys. I actually got pretty good at doing body work on these things. So it actually looks better now than it did before the crash. So you can see all this white's repainted, all the red's repainted. All this has been filled in, repainted. This black here. Yeah, crashed, hit the top of one tree, swooped down, didn't realize I still had control, and ended up getting stuck in another tree. But you can see some slight dings in here, but the gouges that were an inch deep are fixed, and it actually looks decent now. You can see there's still some spots I didn't actually fix yet. I got some filler in them. But if you guys have any other questions, I think I covered it all. One last thing, this wheel is a 50 by 15 free wing wheel. It's a little bit of softer foam. And another thing too I did with this spring, I actually took out the spring in here. I opened it up and got another one at the hardware store that was about the same diameter and cut it down a little bit. So this is much softer. You can see it eating up every bump when you run over stuff with it. So I think that should answer everything. If you guys have any more questions, let me know.